Welcome, our fellow lovers of love, and thank you for joining us on yet another excursion through the stream of consciousness down the river of tranquility to fill the lake of life with love.
Good evening, our fellow lovers out there, and welcome to this Christmas Eve edition of Late Night Love. And we're hoping everybody's out there is having the best Christmas they can have. You know, some people have a difficult Christmas. Christmas time is difficult, or, recent events have made this time of year difficult. But we all hope you're having the best Christmas you can have. It's all you can really ask for, isn't it?
Yes.
Christmas isn't about the gifts. It's not even really about you. It's about that time of year where we remember that we care about other people. To remind people that we care about them. Doesn't matter what the gift is, because you sure in the heck don't want people going into debt to buy you trinkets, right? No one wants that. So, just remember the true spirit of Christmas is about love and kindness and acceptance and, thinking about those who you care about and maybe expressing that a little and maybe trying to be better about it in the years going forward. I know I have a lot of work to do on that, myself. There's a lot of ways I could be better at these things. So, as we all embark on this, happy holidays, as some of you are out there furiously wrapping presents, as I will be later, as the few things I have to give out this year have to be packaged.
Some of us were done weeks ago.
Well, some of us had to wait till their stuff got done before we could finish.
Some of us ordered off Amazon on December 3rd.
Some of us had to make things.
That's true. You made things. I do not make things.
So some of us had to get other stuff done, and production problems and all that kind of stuff that happens. But it's all mostly finished on time.
Well, you made it to Christmas.
Yeah, no, and they're
made it for Christmas morning.
And it's a meaningful gift. It's not an expensive gift, but everybody will find great meaning in it. And so that is the package, which brings us up to your gift. And I didn't give you an envelope yet because our printer isn't working. So that's the problem I had, is I couldn't get our printer to work for you. So I am just going to have to tell you something. Which is one of your favorite comedians?
I have quite a few, actually. Joe Coy is my favorite.
And does this Joe Coy happen to be coming in March, or Sacramento in March or April or something?
Yes.
And I believe that I bought somebody 2 tickets.
No freaking way!
Yes,
I get to see Joe Coy.
Yes, you do.
Oh my God! Thank you, honey. Mwah. This is amazing.
Yes, I bought you 2 tickets to see Joe Coy.
So are you going with me?
Well, I was hoping you'd want to take one of your daughters, but I'll take you if I have to.
I'll take Amy.
But
I'll take my middle daughter.
But we'll see. I'll take you if I have to. I don't like the arena, but if you need a knight in shining armor to take you, of course.
No, that's all right, babe.
But I was thinking of the trip for you and your daughters, was actually, or maybe your sister wanted to come down and see. Make a trip of it. You got 2 tickets. We can decide exactly how to use the other one, but we know you've got one. And there's another one for you to use as you so choose.
Joe Coy is fabulous. Anybody who wants to check out Joe Coy, he's on Netflix. Just punch in Joe Coy. J-O space K-O-Y. Joe Coy.
And Summer found out that I was buying you tickets because I had to tell somebody, because of course I do. And and then she goes, well, I want one. And so I bought her it. So she's going to. Their tickets are like on the other side of the arena because they're hard to get in pairs and at this stage.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2 tickets.
Thank you, my honey. What a lovely Christmas present.
So there you go. There's your Christmas. I was going to print them out and make you open a thing and everything, but our printer wouldn't work. Well, it did, but it printed it out ugly, and I didn't want to print it. I figured better should tell you. And then I couldn't put it on the screen before before the show.
Because then I would see it.
It's like, oh man. And so I was going to pull it up, but then I had moved anyway. I had forgotten to leave it on. Anyway, I could have left it on the screen. It wasn't planned very well once the printer wasn't working. So, but anyway, you didn't need it planned very well. You just got it.
Well, yeah, I get to go, man. That's all that matters.
Yes. So you already have them. They're already bought and paid for. So you're all set. There you go. That's it. How's your Christmas?
This is great.
All right. So what else do we have? Well, we have a comment today. Yeah. All right. So what else do we have? Oh, our yearly Christmas debate, right? Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Die Hard is a love story and a story of redemption.
Maybe, but it's not a Christmas movie. It might be a Christmas tradition, which I can accept. It's perfectly acceptable to have a Christmas tradition that's not a Christmas movie. I don't mind that. It's just not a Christmas movie. I refuse to fall victim to Hollywood marketing of putting a Christmas tree in a movie and then claiming it's a Christmas movie.
Now I've got a gun. Ho, ho, ho. It's Christmas movie.
What?
That's a line from the movie. Now I've got a gun. Ho, ho, ho.
Doesn't make it a Christmas movie.
Yes, it does.
No, throwing a couple references into Christmas doesn't make something a Christmas movie. Christmas movies don't have body counts. That's why that violent Santa Claus movie bombed. Because Christmas movies don't have body counts.
I am going to see that movie with my middle daughter on Christmas evening, and I can't flippin' wait.
I hope you guys have a great time. I really do.
It's going to be wonderful. Ho, 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 and Carnage too.
I'm just saying that Christmas movies, by their nature of Christmas movies, don't have body counts. They may have deaths to set up the story,
It is not Christmas until Hans falls off the top of Nakatomi back.
But that can be a tradition without it make the movie itself having to be considered a Christmas movie. A Christmas tradition, great. I can accept that because lots of people watch it every Christmas. That makes it a Christmas tradition. It doesn't make it a Christmas movie. I'm just saying. All right. So, but speaking of Christmas, the 10 best Christmas movies of all time. Oops, I need the right mouse.
Apparently, Home Alone is number one.
That doesn't surprise me that people would put it there,
but for some kids, it can be kind of a little scary for the younger ones.
I don't know about that. Any kid old enough to be scared by it would be old enough to be fascinated and understand that it's, fun and games. I don't think. You might have an autistic kid or Asperger's kid who doesn't quite understand it. But the rest of us shouldn't, to be denied that it's fun for everybody else because there's a handful of people that, if you're a parent, where your children's things are.
Well, yeah.
And I never sheltered my kids from these things. These sheltered themselves when it was necessary. So that's my, perspective from that. Elf.
Elf, yes.
Oh, okay.
In A Christmas Story, you're going to shoot your eye out.
All right. That's one that could use an actually good remake.
Yeah, it could.
But they'll screw it up. So
my favorite Christmas movie, It's a Wonderful Life. I've watched it about 20 times in December already. It's fabulous.
Christmas Vacation. That's a good one.
National Lampoon, yeah.
Charlie Brown Christmas is a must-watch every year.
Oh, yeah.
We have to watch that. Polar Express. You'll watch that one even not in Christmas time.
I love Polar. Well, I like Tom Hanks. He's my favorite actor.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I haven't seen that one in a couple years. I'll have to make sure I watch it tomorrow.
Oh my God, yeah.
Home Alone 2. Lost in New York. I didn't like that one. That one stretched the, suspension of disbelief. The first one pushed it, but didn't quite break it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second one broke it. So, and How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Of course.
Of course. So
Beast.
So if you're sitting there,
he was misunderstood.
So if you're sitting there, tomorrow and you just want to engage with Christmas, but you happen to be alone, or a pair of you just want to sit there and have Christmas movies or something going on in the background, there's your playlist right there. The Night Before Christmas is an interesting one. Die Hard
is a Christmas movie. Proof.
No, it's not proof. It just means that they're delusion too. The Grinch, the Santa Claus, A Christmas Carol.
I've been watching Santa Claus a lot. And the Christmas Carol and Miracle on 34th Street. I like those old ones.
Yeah.
And
How the Grinch Stole Christmas. That's a good one. The one with Jim Carrey. That's actually a good one.
Yeah. Okay, now we've gotten past the top 10.
Yeah. And one of the other things people like, we talk about having background. Christmas movies is background. Is one of the things we have is Christmas songs. So it's kind of background. We were just playing before the show our own version of Christmas songs as background music. And now that I, work at a radio station, I had to put together my own kind of Christmas music filler this year, which was an interesting experience. I don't know what people want to listen to because we've got a strange radio station, right? It's a community radio station. So it's not like you can pick a genre of music and stick with that. You've got to kind of cover everything, which actually makes it quite difficult.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So it was an interesting experience. And so that does bring us to, come on, open up. There we go. Jingle Bell Rock. I should have listened to this list. And I actually went for some more recent covers, by some cover bands on YouTube. Yeah, and so I played. So Jingle Bell Rock, because lots of people sing them, and so it's like, which version do you want to use?
And of course, the obligatory All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Yep.
Gotta listen to it at least once.
Waiting for Christmas?
I don't know that one.
Not off the top of my head. I probably know it, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't know it off the top of my head.
Silent Night. Silent Night has seemed to die off in recent decades.
Can I sing my Danish Christmas song?
Do you want to do it at the end of the songs?
Right.
We'll do it at the end of the songs. So there's the Silent Night. And then I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas. Whether it's the original Bing Crosby version or some of the more modern versions, you can't really go wrong. Unless you have me sing it, then you can go way wrong. Last Christmas, was that the Wham one? Last Christmas.
Yeah, I love that one.
That was a good one. Do They Know It's Christmas?
I gave you my heart, but the very next day, you gave it away. Didn't they know it's Christmas? Oh God, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah. Jingle Bells, which of course is a nice little happy one. Fairy Tale of New York, which I'm not familiar with, at least by name. I've probably heard it. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Yes, it's a fun little song.
Kids sing it every year.
Yeah. Oh Holy Nights, if you have a young person who has a voice, that's a nice song to listen to. There's something about a young person who has a great voice singing Oh Holy Night.
Yeah.
There's just more present. So I like that one. Carol of the Bells. Santa Claus is Coming to Town. That one can be done many ways, which is the nice thing about that song. You can listen to it like 4 times in a row from different artists, and you have like 4 different songs. That's a cool song.
chestnuts roasting on an open fire. That's a nice one.
Yeah.
Rocking around the Christmas tree.
Yeah, and if you're out there,
holiday.
there's a group I've been listening to recently that has she has some good IMY too, and they have some good Christmas covers. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, all the standard at this point. All right. So, but speaking of Christmas songs, Lubby here has her Danish Christmas song. So, here, hold on. You got to put there you go.
All right. This is A Holy Night in Danish. Dejlige jul, glæde jul. Engle daler ned til skov, så man ser, hvad tårne det er skønt. Så man ser, hvad tårne det er skønt. Når det blandes de går, når det blandes de går.
This is very lovely, my Lubby.
I learned that when I was 9 years old.
Ah,
And I had to sing it in church.
sing it in church.
Yes.
All right. I don't know. I couldn't sing it in church. But then again, I can't sing, so no one wants me singing things.
I sang a little better. I had a better voice at 9. I can't hit those high notes anymore.
Yeah. Well, then you just bring it down, right? Isn't that the theory?
I don't know how to do that. I used to be able to sing.
Oh, I don't know. I never could sing, so so there's that.
Okay, now we have a list of 50 homemade Christmas gifts. Now, we're not going to cover all of them that you can make in 15 minutes. So, for you last minute people don't know what to do, you're running out of ideas. We got a couple of ideas for you.
Or if you get a last minute guest, right?
Yes. You can do soup mixes in a jar. There's recipes you can find online.
Or you can do I don't know if we'll get to it if it has it on there, but you can do brownie stub mixes and stuff in the jars. You know, same thing.
Yes, you can. Crock pot caramel apple butter. Now, you better put it in tonight and it'll be ready tomorrow.
Yeah. So what else you got? You got
Elf mason jars. I don't know. It's just green candy.
Yeah, just a jar of candy, right? If you've got candy around.
Yeah.
Personalized photo. You can't make those in 15 minutes. Photo magnets. 10-minute ornaments. Ornaments are good. Photo ornaments.
Where are you?
I'm way down at number 14. Because I'm skimming through these fast.
Tea bag Christmas trees. Glue an assortment of tea bags to a styrofoam cone to make a Christmas tree.
Yeah. So, but there's lots of little kind of crafty things. If you
Peppermint candy spoons. You dip it in the chocolate, then you dip it in Christmas sprinkles. Hot chocolate mix in a jar. Homemade chocolate mix. You should have stuff in the house for that. Personalized photo candles. You can't do that.
No, that's what I said. You can't do that in 15 minutes.
10-minute photo ornaments. A mini photo calendar. Well, I don't know who can do that.
Hey, by the way, Dan Thornton here agreed with me, but it's not a Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
See. But he does watch it at Christmas. See, it's a Christmas tradition, not a Christmas movie. It's a distinction, but it's an important one.
Photo coasters.
Would you want your 5-year-old to be watching Die Hard?
No.
Then it's not a Christmas movie.
You could get pampering gifts. Homemade sugar scrub cubes. You can find that on the internet.
Bath bombs.
Milk bath bombs. Milk bath. Peppermint milk bath.
Weren't we going to recite the night before Christmas?
I don't know.
I think we were.
I love doing that. Pumpkin spice soap. Making soap. A little too late for that. Coconut oil lip balm. That takes 5 minutes to whip up. Whipped body butter. Oh, you got to have essential lavender oil on hand to do that. Crocheted face scrubby. Lavender eye pillows if you're a sewer. Jewelry organizer. Place chicken wire in a large picture frame. You have to have chicken wire on hand. I don't know about that.
Yeah, what are you? Were you a farmer all of a sudden?
Do-it-yourself sunglass case. You can find instructions online. Drawer sachets. But you need lavender and a sewing machine. A t-shirt produce bag. You can find that online from Delia Creates. An easy scrunchie. Sew a scrunchie. A no-sew beanie. You can change a sweater into a beanie.
A sweater into a beanie?
Yeah. Fleece ear warmers.
You're going to have to be much more crafty than I am to turn a sweater into a beanie.
Cozy hand warmers. I think you put beans in them and then put it in the microwave. Felt ball trivet.
I don't know what that is.
Embroidery hoop organizer. A fleece hat and scarf. You can do that in 15 minutes, no sewing needed.
Stovetop potpourri just makes a mess.
I love stovetop potpourri.
As long as you clean it up, I don't care.
Stamped wooden utensils. That doesn't sound 15 minutes.
Of course, a lot of stuff doesn't sound 15 minutes unless you have the stuff handy and
Wooden tablet holder. Who wouldn't love that? For the kitchen, looks like a cutting board.
Yeah.
Teacup candles.
See, some of that stuff is okay, but you have to have the teacups handy and the wax. And so, yeah, they take 15 minutes if you already had all the materials. But if you thought that far ahead, you wouldn't need the 15-minute last-minute gift idea. That's all I'm saying. All right. So we've got, what the hell is it? You want to do the night before Christmas now, or do we want to do it at the end of the show? Let's do it at the end. Let's go ahead and start our questions.
All right.
There's a couple more things at latenightLove.us. You can some popular Christmas fruitcake if you want to learn about that.
The history of the fruitcake.
And there's some charities that help children at Christmas time. You can go find a list of that, and always do your own verifications, please, before you give charity. All right. So, what do we got?
Well, we are going to start with parenting.
Okie dokie.
I have a 10-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 6-month-old. Last year, my now 10-year-old asked for so many toys, and she wrote a whole long letter to Santa about how excited she was to get her new OMG dolls and how much she was going to play with them. This year, she didn't ask for any toys at all. She asked for a few art supplies, jewelry, and Claire's accessories. It makes me sad she is growing up so fast. Is it normal to feel this way?
Yeah, it's perfectly normal to feel that way, and it's perfectly normal for her to evolve. Last year what was important to her was oh my God dolls, and this year what she wants is art and and a few things to make herself feel prettier. It's perfectly normal. Next year she may want tennis shoes. Who knows? it's that time of her life where she's exploring and changing and evolving to trying to find out what she wants to be when she's older. She's developing those base skills, those base desires. So what you can do is just let her explore. It's the sad part of parenting, but it's also the beautiful part of parenting. If she didn't do this, she wouldn't be doing her job. So good job. I know it doesn't always feel like it, but it's a good job. She's feeling comfortable exploring and she's evolving. Pat yourself on the back and buy her art supplies. Yeah.
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 Okay. Opening presents is always annoying here. My wife likes to ration presents for the kids and have them open one every hour or two, whereas I prefer to just sit down and take turns opening all of them. What is your process for gifts? Dude, buy your own gifts and give it to the kids, and you can have them open anytime you want.
Well, he wants to keep peace in his household. Come on now. He's being responsible adult here. He's trying to be the responsible adult. But there is no set proper way to do it. Some people open their presents on Christmas Eve. Some people open them in the evenings. Some people open them first thing in the mornings. It's how you, as a family, decide to do it. What your wife likes to do is she wants to drag out the enjoyment, for lack of a better phrase. And that's a terrible way to say that.
And another thing, when they open a gift, then they want to play with it and enjoy it and spend some time with it.
You can't spend an hour with socks. To say it. But I get what she's doing. She wants to be able to kind of enjoy the experience throughout the day because she's only going to have it for so long. On this kind of thing is my policy on this was who cares more, and I think she probably does, and it's annoying. Sure it is. But if there is an idea, if you want to have some fun with it, buy your own gifts that your wife doesn't know about and sneak them to them every now and again. Have your little fun. And maybe as these kids get older, they'll put their own pressure on their mother to lighten up.
Yeah.
So, but I think his instinct to not make a mountain out of a molehill is probably, probably a good idea. And hopefully at some point she lightens up. Have this discussion about it in March. Don't have it in October, November, December. Have it in March. Would be my suggestion if you want to deal with it. Deal with it in March, April, May, when it's a long ways away from the stress of Christmas. That would be my actual long-term suggestion. Short-term, just deal with it. Accept it as one of those things, I'm probably sure lots of things about you annoy her a little bit, and she swallows it. So, swallowing this one may just be the way to go. At present, anyway. All right, what's next?
Okay, well, I mess up as a mother because my mother messed up. Well, honey, I'm sorry to tell you. Well, I got good news and I got bad news. The good news is you won't make the same mistakes your mother did because you're going to be watching for them. But the bad news is you're going to make your own brand new mistakes.
And by the way, you may end up making the same mistakes your mother did because that's just sometimes life's like that. And because it's not really a mistake, it's the best solution for the time. Sometimes what we can view as a mistake is the only solution they had. So cut your mother a little slack, but no, you probably won't make the same severe mistakes she made. You will make your own new ones because that's what humans are. We make mistakes. It just is. And it's okay. And by the way, sometimes things you think are mistakes aren't, and sometimes things you think were right end up being mistakes, and it's a crapshoot. You just do the best you can and love your children the best you can, and everything will more or less be okay. That's the nature of parenting. Okay? It's not it's a beautiful thing, but it's not pretty. If there's a way I could explain it. All right. So what do you got?
Anyone else feel like Roblox is a kid's gateway drug? I can't believe the negative effect this game center has had on my kid's life. I feel like I need to send the poor kid to rehab and worry this is what I have to look forward to with drugs in the future. Does anyone have experience with Roblox withdrawal in a 9-year-old?
Well, no, but gaming withdrawal can happen with anything, to be honest. Whether it's a gaming or adrenaline, or some people can get addicted to studying. They get addicted to the high of getting the next score, getting the best score. There's all kinds of things you can get theoretically addicted to. But just because you're worried about it doesn't mean he's addicted to it also. So we'll give you a tone of caution on that. It could just be a perfectly normal thing. 9-year-olds get obsessed about all kinds of things. We used to watch this documentary, the baseball documentary.
Yes.
Yeah. And if a 9-year-old was told he couldn't play baseball, he'd be despondent, right? The same kind of thing you're talking about now, despondent for days. Should I let him play baseball? Well, yeah, let him go play baseball. It's what the kids are doing. You have to let them be a part of their culture. And so, where that line is, it's difficult. And so without more information, are you an over-concerned parent, or are you, a parent with legitimate concerns? It's hard to know, but it's also fairly normal. And Roblox is just one version of something kids can get overly involved in. Now, getting overly involved in things might be an issue, but Roblox itself isn't dangerous. It's just kids getting involved and caught up in things. And maybe he does have an addictive type personality, and you do have to watch for things in the future. Or maybe he's just 9. There's just no way for us sitting here to know. Okay, so what we got?
Relationships.
Okay.
So me, 25-year-old female, and boyfriend, male, 32, recently got back together and we've both been super happy. I'm pretty emotionally distraught right now because I think I ruined it. Basically, after we both got off work last night, we went out for drinks with some friends. I drank too much and wasn't acting like myself. Ended up leaving the bar without him and going home to sleep. He texted me after I left, saying in short, I don't know why I'm wasting my time with someone that left me. Good evening and good luck. How do I make up for my drunken behavior?
Well, one, stop getting drunk to the point where you can't properly explain yourself when you feel the need to leave. Is probably the thing. And two, he probably doesn't properly know how to deal with issues either. So maybe it's a good idea that, this thing is run its course. You split up the first time for a reason. And when people do grow, maybe you all haven't. Be my suggestion. Spend some time. Is going out and getting drunk to the point where you stop acting like yourself. Is that the kind of life you want to live? That's the real problem in the whole thing. And that's your night of fun. Really? Going out and having a drink or two and taking an Uber home, great. But, to the point where you're not acting yourself, that means you went too far. And why do you do that? So my suggestion is that's the root of the problem. But it also didn't sound much like a healthy relationship. So work on yourself would be my suggestion.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next?
Today, my husband, 30-year-old male, and I, 30-year-old female, We're having a conversation with my family, and we were talking about how my husband was popular growing up and has always gotten a lot of attention from women, etc. My stepmom then chimes in and asks, "So what? So what made my name special? Why did you pick her?" And then my husband said, "She's special because she stuck around. I tried to push her away like I do most people, but she stayed. I do love him, but I want to be loved for who I am. How do I move on from this?"
Well, he was loving you for who you are. You persevered through his habit of trying to push people away, but yet you loved him, and you stuck through that. It was a compliment, but a very short-handed way of saying it. That's man speak for, she broke down my barriers. She got through to me. She broke down. My habit is to push people away, but yet she refused to allow that to happen. She actually loved me, and I love her for that. She loves you, for the strength you have, for loving him. He's just inartful at saying it.
Sorry, hon, but that's what that's what the whole message really is.
And if you want to talk to him about it, that's fine, but make sure you understand what the message actually is. And he's probably just trying to get her to shut up and tried the quickest flippant response. He wasn't thinking that deeply about it. And so you got a very true answer. It's at the core truth, but it's much deeper than that, right? It's,
Yes.
He just didn't want to explain it all at that point, and he might not be able to put it all into words until he spends some time thinking about it. Because, he loves you because who you are. Otherwise, it wouldn't have mattered if you stuck around. He wouldn't have stuck around. So, he does love you for who you are. And maybe he needs to get more artful in how he expresses it. And, no matter how old he is, he can work on that. But you also need to be better at hearing what he actually means. Just like, us men, we miss, 80% of your hints. You guys aren't as good at hearing us as you think you are. You can't get there. It's probably easier once you all understand we're not as complicated. You guys think we're more complicated. Women think men are far more complicated than we actually are. He's like, no, we're not. We're just not. But I do feel bad. You're only 30, so you guys, it's all right. I didn't start working on that stuff until 35. So if he starts working on it now, he's ahead of me. So how's that? Give you a little hope. Okay, so what's next?
Recently, I went to my girlfriend's Instagram and found that she basically removed any and all trace of me from her profile. Not only did she remove any posts with me in it, she also removed me from any highlights that had my face in them on her profile. The thing that makes this weird is that we haven't had any major fights or anything recently, so I'm super confused. I asked my girlfriend about it, and she said there was no reason, that I was overreacting. Am I overreacting?
Maybe. Depends what her goals on Instagram are. If her Instagram is just showcasing herself, and from a marketing perspective, it may be best for her just to, kind of erase that part of her. It's kind of like an actor. You don't want to know much about their personal life. Or, you don't have to have fights for your relationship to enter a downward phase, shall we say. Apathy can kill a relationship as much as disagreements. So, it doesn't mean that there's nothing wrong, but maybe what's the fact that there's wrong, it's more apathetic than it is. And I don't know. It's hard to say. And so, next time you talk about it, maybe the discussion is, okay, why? But try not to do it in a way that's going to make her feel attacked. So I don't understand. Now, the other thing is, we don't share much of each other on our social media. I don't share much of my personal life. I share a lot of stuff on social media, but in my personal life, not a lot. Maybe if I go to the hospital, I'll share that I'm in the hospital with my broken arm, but I don't share much of my personal life on social media. It's probably a good idea not to, because of this kind of thing. Because something that to one person is a simple, just changing what I'm projecting. Maybe she's looking for a job or something, and so she was just cleaning it up. Who knows? So, or maybe your relationship has entered a dangerous phase and you have stuff to work on, which would actually probably be a more accurate read on that. You don't have to have fights. It's just becoming apathetic, and that's just as dangerous. Okay.
Girlfriend, 25-year-old female, one's baby ring house. When I, 27-year-old male, feel like we need to solve our problems first. How do I get her to slow down?
Well, both things can kind of be true. You're never going to solve all your problems. That's just not going to happen. So if you're waiting to solve all your problems first, you'll be waiting a long time. But maybe it is, you do need to slow down a little bit. So maybe there is some balance there. Maybe you have to make a decision on which problems you want to solve. Is your relationship kind of rocky? Do you have the ups and firing downs, and you want to have a more stable relationship before you start a family? That's a good one. Maybe you're financially shaky and you don't want to start a family now and spend a bunch of money on a ring and a house and a baby because you're kind of barely making it as it is. That's a legitimate discussion.
Definitely.
But if it's just you want to solve all your problems, well, sorry, it's just relationship problems in your 20s are a natural course of being 20s. You want to have a healthy way of resolving them, but so I would actually think maybe figure out exactly what problems you want solved first, make it down to an actual realistic manageable list, and then have that discussion, because solve your problems is a way to push it off to no end. And she would have every right to be upset over that, because problems is ill-defined. Define the problems. Say these are the things we need to deal with. And maybe you don't have to complete them, because maybe there's no completing. Maybe you just need to be on the path where they're getting dealt with better. Like you deal with issues in your relationship in a more healthy way. Who knows, whatever it is.
Yes.
Okay. So that's it. But so maybe slowing down is good, or maybe you're just scared and you're looking for excuses. That is, I just wanted to make sure that was also a possibility. Just wanted to make sure I covered all the bases on that one. We covered the other way. We'll cover that one. You could just be unsure that this is the direction you want to go, and this is the relationship you have, or just being scared or nervous or whatever that is, which is perfectly normal. But sit down with yourself and figure out where you want to be, regardless. Okay.
Work.
Okay, yeah, because we shouldn't cover sex and Christmas Eve. Come on now.
Wait a minute. Let me see if there's a good one. Okay, just one.
All right, we'll do just the one. We'll do it now. Okay.
Drinking more water made my sex life infinitely better. How do I share this secret with the world?
You just did. Congratulations. Woohoo! You posted it on Reddit, and then we saw it, and we blasted it out on our podcast to all our dozens of listeners. So there we go. You started the chain, right? You dropped a pebble in the ocean, and now there's the butterfly effect type thing. Yeah, I just really mixed my metaphors on that one, didn't I? All right. So off to the work.
Work. Ever think about how we're being scammed into 50 plus years of our lives away so we can hopefully get a few years to enjoy life once we're too old to do anything? I don't want to wait. How do I live life to the fullest now?
Well, you just live life to the fullest now. You just do. That's the thing. But I want to know, as opposed to when. You say you work 50 years so you can have a few years at the end of your life that are comfortable. Okay, but for most of human history, and I mean most of human history, with the exception of the last 75, 100 years, you worked until you died, or you had to have your family take care of you. There was no retirement for the average person. Scam. Life is pretty good now in comparison to most of human history. We've progressed. This notion that we only have to work 50 years, 50 hours a week for 50 years, whatever it is.
40 hours a week.
40, 50, 60, 80 if you're one of those high achievers, right? It doesn't matter. It used to be nonstop, and you had to worry about getting eaten by mountain lions. How many of us have to worry about getting eaten by mountain lions? We don't. Some people do, but for the most part, most of us don't have. We go through life. Life's pretty good. Life's actually pretty good. So if you want to live life to the fullest, accept that life is pretty good right now and just enjoy it. Don't live in some fantasy past where you think, or some fantasy future where you think that there's this utopia.
What I want to know is, what does he think life is going to be like when he doesn't work? I mean, is there something he wants to do? Does he want to travel? Well, then maybe he should travel now.
Yeah, maybe.
Save up money, live frugal. Yeah. I know people who've done that, and then they take these fantastic trips.
People are travel bloggers now. There's all kinds of things you can do to actually, live your life, and you can make the life of what you wish. You just have to actually do it, but you can't do it by thinking you're a victim, thinking you're scammed, and because living life is hard. Yeah, life is hard. It's always been hard. It's not a scam. It's just life. You think that mountain lion that scares his life is hard, right? It's not easy. So we're much easier than civilization is much better than nature. So, stop feeling like you're a victim and live life for today. And that's how you're living for the fullest now. Stop worrying about how often you have to work. Stop feeling a victim and just enjoy the time and people you have now. That's living life to the fullest. Okay.
I was at lunch today and I bumped into a former rude coworker. I said hi to her and congratulations on getting a job in my company. Her response was dry and made me completely regret coming up to her. Should I have ignored her? No, you took the high road.
Yeah, no, you don't change yourself. You be who you are. Because she's aloof or doesn't like you or whatever her issues is, it's not you. You just be you. Don't worry about that. You did the right thing. Her response is her response. It's got nothing to do with you. So don't carry her baggage. That'd be my suggestion. Just keep on being you.
Spread your joy.
Yes, because you know what? The next person will appreciate it. And so if you stop doing that, then because one person didn't, then the people who do are going to miss out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and she may have appreciated it, even though she doesn't know how to show it. You're just never going to know because she's socially awkward. Maybe that's her issues. She just doesn't know how. All right?
Yeah.
So, just do your thing.
Okay. My work performance has plateaued and I don't know how to fix it. How do I keep improving?
Well, there comes a point where that happens, right? You become competent at your job and improvement becomes harder. Because at first, right, it's easy. When you're first learning, you can make huge leaps and bounds and you can see noticeable improvement. But later on, it takes longer to notice your improvements. And it's just what it is. It's kind of the learning curve, right? That starts really steep, but it slows down because it has to. You just can't keep going like this. It's not possible.
You have unrealistic expectations of yourself.
Yeah, and what you've done is you've gotten to a point where you're competent. And once you've gotten to a point where you're competent, it becomes harder to. And then when you talk about improvement, what are we talking about? Key punches per hour? Are you customer service? Or are you talking about, customer relations, sales? There's various ways to measure this. Are you responsible for leading a team? And is your team being stable and able to function as a unit? Is that the goal rather than some hard number that may or may not have anything to do with you? Sales numbers go up and down because of economy, right? And so your team might be functioning as best as it's ever been. Pat yourself on the back, but numbers are down. Well, the numbers will fix themselves over time if your team is functioning at a high level. So just keep working. Just keep working at it. That's all you can do. And accept that you're going to have to use longer time periods to judge yourself, to judge improvement. Instead of judging yourself on a month-by-month basis, you may going to have to go on a quarter-by-quarter basis. Something like that. Extend it out so when you look back, you can actually see more growth rather than in a month. I'm just like I was in that last month. Well, no, you're not. It's just not different enough for you to visually see. So that would be my suggestion.
All right.
And, who knows? Maybe you've only been there 8 months. Give yourself some time. The world doesn't change. Rome wasn't built in a day, Time. Just give yourself some time. All right.
Okay. I don't work despite volunteering. How can I regularly work without getting too overwhelmed or too exhausted?
Well, one is find a job that works on your schedule. Maybe if you're an Amazon contractor or something. I'm assuming you have some physical issue that was preventing you from working like a full-time standard job, but you want to keep active, which is why you're volunteering when you can. And the nice thing about volunteering is you can kind of work when you're feeling able to. So maybe start looking at nonprofits and those places that have a more flexible type work environment would probably be my suggestion. But look for some help. There's probably services out there that can help hook you up with organizations that are catered to people who have health issues and can be dealt with.
Yes.
Or maybe just get a work from home job now. You can work customer service from home if you have a computer, right? So there's options. There's options. Just maybe you're gonna have to change those volunteering hours into work hours somehow. That's kind of your goal.
Yeah.
A lot of times, this is going to be an odd one. Gyms need people to check people in. A lot of these 24-hour gyms, they don't have people to check people in. And if you can sit behind the desk and check people in, they're looking for people just to do that. So it's one of those jobs that someone who has a disabled issue might not think about applying for. But if all they really need is someone who can punch computers, sign up memberships on occasion,
hand somebody a towel.
Yeah, if that's, they don't even have people towels at the Planet Fitness or something. They scan your phone onto the scanner thing and they say, "Hey, have a good workout." And when you leave, you say bye. That's what they do. And maybe sometimes people have to pay or ask questions about memberships or things, but for the most part, that's all they do. So stuff like that. Or you can work for like Amazon delivery if you have a driver's license, and you can choose when you want to work. Yeah, Amazon Flex Driver, you can kind of choose when you want to work. So there are some other ways to deal with that. All right. So It is the night before Christmas, well, at least here on the East Coast. It's already Christmas. Approaching central the United States, in your home state of Ohio,
Yes.
it's approaching Christmas.
You can track Santa at NORAD.com.
Because it was the night before Christmas, went all through the house. Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there.
The children were nested all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plum danced in their heads.
And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap.
When out on the roof there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter.
Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutter, and threw up the sash.
The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave the lust of midday to objects below.
When, what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer.
With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick.
More rapid than eagles, his coursers came. He whistled and shouted and called them by name.
Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen.
To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all.
As the dry leaves that before the wild hurricanes fly, when they meet with an obstacle mount to the sky, and up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too.
And then, in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof.
As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound.
He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot.
A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack.
His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry.
And his droll little mouth was drawn up like a bowl, and his beard on his chin was white as the snow.
The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath.
He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly.
He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and laughed when I saw him in spite of myself.
A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread.
He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, and turned with a jerk.
And laying his finger aside on his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose.
He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle.
But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night." And from me and Lubby, we wish you all a Merry, Merry Christmas. We will see you on New Year's Eve. Ooh, that's going to be a fun one.
Ooh.
So we'll see you next week. And please remember, on this Christmas Eve of all days, oops, wrong mouse. I always do that, don't I? On this of all days, please remember to love everybody.
Good night.